Well, what is the intent of what do you foresee doing with Starbreaker? Or do you look at yourself as just basically a studio recording act, or do you intend on doing some road work, or maybe getting into some festivals, or what do you intend on doing, or hope that might happen for your band?
It's hard to say. We're all so busy doing other things, and all of us are, we're all making a lot of music, doing other stuff. So it's hard to say. I mean, if I think that we're all open to it. If something really cool came along, if a door swung open and somebody said offered us some, a really great festival or a few festivals, it would have to be something that would be worthwhile enough for all of us to get together in one city and rehearse and put a show together. Because you have to imagine now, Johnny Lightfoot is in Utah. John and I are in New York, and Magnus is in Sweden. So it would take, quite the effort to get us all to do it. We'd love to, but I think as of now, I could say pretty safely that it is a studio project, but it's a studio project we're all very proud of.
Sure. Now, in this day and age of digital downloading and whatnot, I hear a lot of artists. We interview quite a few artists here on the Classic Metal Show who basically have made the claim that it's almost not worth recording an album anymore. Especially if you're an established act that's been around. It's just like, We've got enough records under our belt. A lot of people come out basically to hear the old tunes anyway. With all the downloading going on, illegal or legal downloading, and it goes, and being that there aren't any real big labels anymore, or big tour support, or recording budgets anymore, it's just like it's not worth recording anymore. So what keeps you doing that?
The love for songwriting. And the love of what I can create in the studio. There's nothing more satisfying to me than completing a new song that you're really proud of, and being able to sit back and listen to it finished and go, wow, that sounds really good, and having it move people.
Sure.
So I understand, that the bigger bands are saying that, but it's kind of funny because David Coverdale said that about 2 or 3 years ago, and then recorded a new Whitesnake record last year. So
right, absolutely.
So I think that if you love to write songs and you like to make new music, look, do you really think that Motley Crue needs to make a new record to go out and sell out arenas? No, but obviously, they like to, and Nicky, he's got a lot of creativity in him, and he wants to get in and obviously make new records and add some, cool new elements to their classic sound, and I think he does that successfully, and it did very well, their last record, their new one. So I think it's a matter of opinion. I think obviously the sales aren't what they used to be, but to say that it's just not worth it, I don't know how the fans actually feel about that. I would never stop. With today's technology, hell, if you're good enough in your home studio, you could record a song every month and release it as a download on the internet.
Sure, you
Why
could.
not?
Right, as long as there isn't a lot of expense involved with getting all your players together, and I know MP3 files and things can be traded back and forth via email or FTP uploads to where if one of your members are located over in, say, Europe and you're in the States, you can send it over to them to add their part and whatnot. But it's still time and effort, to do it.
But it's time and effort. But I feel that I have enough fans worldwide that if I were to make music, on my own and keep the budgets very low, that it could be very worthwhile for me to be very self-sufficient that way.
Sure.
There are labels that are still interested in obviously doing stuff with me. Some of them want me only if I'm going to do the old school stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And there are a few forward-thinking labels that are interested in things that I'm, where I'm going as a solo artist. So I think, every artist has their own take on it, and if TNT was a big enough band that we could go out and do, 150 shows a year worldwide, or even in the U.S. or wherever, and pull in enough money that every guy in the band was actually, super happy and making a living, then of course we'd probably be one of those bands and would have been one of those nostalgia acts.
Sure.
They're managing to do that over there. But I think that unless you can go out and do that and it's really worthwhile for you, then you got to do something else. I make my living as a musician, and I do a lot of different things, all revolving around music. Some
right.
of it is songwriting, some of it is singing, a lot of it is singing, some of it's performing, and many, many, many things. So,
well, being that you are one of these people that I, put in a class of having a very distinguishable voice, are you ever approached, or have you taken up any offers for doing like jingle work?
I have done it a lot of times. Sure, it's a great living. It's anonymous,
mm-hmm.
and it's quite fun actually. It's
yeah.
really easy. I live in New York City, so it's super easy for me to jump from all the major jingle houses are here. So, yeah, that's something that I do sometimes quite regularly.
Right.
And you nail one of those, and you're good for the year, more or less.
Yeah, I understand that. Like one of your contemporaries, like Terry Alous of XYZ. I know he does jingle work, and he also does like voiceover work for like Disney
mm-hmm.
or somebody,
Yeah.
So, he evidently does pretty well with that kind of stuff, but yet he continues doing a few shows here and there with, what he calls his XYZ project, So,
yeah.
so they, I just wondering if you have that opportunity or have that, chance to do